to the Athletes in Motion podcast, From Race to Recovery, with your hosts, Tom Riegel and Kenny Bailey.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Kenny. How are you?
I am fantastic because we have Mafe here with us, and
Mafe,
we are
she's
doing
back.
an update on
Hello.
our triathlete's journey. Mafe, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me again.
Sure. So for those folks that are following along, we are following three athletes this year on our triathlete's journey, and Mafe's one of our athletes that has agreed to share her life with us, her goods, her bads, her whiskey, everything, really. So I believe last time we talked, Mafe, you were not quite at you had 2 triathlons on your belt so far since we've had a chance to chat. Is that correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you had the women's, and then you just finished the one in downtown Nashville, right?
Yeah, the Music City. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. So let's start with starts. And our official Athletes in Motion dog is available.
Yes,
so we're set.
Rosie's up here. She had to pop up and say hi, so you get to
Hey,
say
Rosie.
There you go.
Aw.
So
She's been lying the whole time.
how did you approach the first one? What were your thoughts and feelings? And then as you're going through it, and give us the spiel.
Yeah, it's been quite eventful lately.
Uh-oh.
So
We like that.
yeah. So last time we talked, I just finished the marathon, the
That's right.
rock and roll marathon.
That's
I was
right.
starting to get into
Feeling
the
good.
bike. I had a couple of falls with the bike. And now I feel more comfortable. But before that, I had a little accident with the bike. Nothing too dramatic. It was just very unfortunate. So I was riding the day before the women's tri. I was riding the Tour de Nashville, the small one, the 9 miles. And in one part, everybody made a stop. I stopped. I lost my balance to one side.
Oh.
Then my right foot got trapped and lost my balance to the opposite side. So I sprained my ankle pretty badly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Not good.
So, and I
that's-
heard a loud pop at that moment.
Pops aren't good.
And pops are good. I hope that it was just like a joint cracking, but it was not. It was a tear. So I wasn't able to run during the women's tri. So I switched to aqua bike. I was hoping that it was just like a joint pop and like whatever. The next day will be fine. It was not.
Shake it off. Yeah.
It's terrible.
So
But
it's
you know what's
always
really
the day
cool?
before. It's always the day
Yeah,
before a
that's right.
race, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
That
But what's
little
really
warm-up.
cool is you just didn't like sit on the couch. You said, well, at least I can aqua bike.
Oh,
Like, you
no.
didn't-
I was
Yeah.
I was not going to go to urgent care that day because I thought probably they're gonna say don't do anything. And I wasn't gonna do anything. So I said like
We
at
don't
least I'm gonna
recommend
do
that
the aqua
as
bike.
an organization. We don't recommend that as a podcast.
Always talk to your doctor.
Always talk to your
listen to your
doctor.
doctor.
Always listen to your doctor.
Yeah. So I went to the urgent care after the race. It was not bad. It was not swollen. It was a little bit swollen, but not that bad. But I had to limp through transitions, and people look at me weirdly, like, "What are you doing here? Why are you racing?" Like, yeah. But it was fine. I enjoyed the race, and I'm glad that I was able at least to do 2 sports out of 3. So, yeah, I was counting my blessings there.
Yeah.
Did you get a
Yeah.
sense when you did the 2, sort of like the pace or what you need to do for the transitions, at least that part of it, even though it's not all 3, at least you got the experience of like, okay, get off, do this, and then go do this. Was that helpful?
Yeah, that was very interesting. So I was not like, I've swum before. I said that in previous podcasts that I have a swimming background. So I never thought that swimming was going to be anything to worry about. Not that it was, but like once I was out of the water, it was crazy to just run into the next part. It was like, I felt like I was so disoriented because whenever I've swum in meets, it's like you're done after the pool, right?
Yeah.
But not here. So it was very weird to, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
It was a very new
That's good.
experience.
And that's a pretty long run from the pool all the way out to the transition area. So the sportsplex out all the way. This is a pretty decent run. So yeah, you're discombobulated.
Which I mostly walked and limped and
hobbled across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got it done.
But it was fine. I got it done. Yeah.
Nice.
So what was the time gap between the women's and the one this weekend? Was it 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I was not ready yet to run. So after I went to urgent care, I also got checked by an orthopedist, and I'm doing rehab with Ross. That it's Be Ready PT.
Be Ready PT. Yeah. Okay. You're working with Ross. Cool.
Yeah. So we're working on my ankle. But we're gonna see. The next race I have is in Chattanooga, 2.5 weeks from now. So we're gonna see if I can run. I don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
Because I have the Chicago Marathon in the fall, so I really want to get back in, like, be safe with my ankle, before getting back to running. But it was a great experience, anyways. So the Music City, I also did aqua bike. And I felt much better after, like in the transition between the swim and the bike. I knew what I was going to do now. It was like, I knew it was going to be crazy getting out of the water and running into the bike. So yeah, it was not as shocking as the first time.
Was it river, or because of your experience in the past, it wasn't that big of a deal? Or did it feel a lot different? I understand the river was blazing fast too. So.
Oh yeah, it was very fast. The river was very fast. But I mean, like, I don't know if getting out of the pool was different. I don't know. I've never swum in the river like for a competition. So, but still it was, I knew that it was going to feel crazy swimming and then running and then getting to the bike. So I already knew that feeling. So that's why this time it was not as shocking.
Yeah. Definitely helps with that. So the ankle is just a sprain. That's the official diagnosis on it. There's nothing else serious
No, nothing bone related. The doctor said that there's definitely a tear because of the instability that he feels in my right ankle.
Okay.
So it's, but it's not a full tear. Otherwise, I wouldn't be walking.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So a little bit more severe than just a sprain. So something to definitely take care of. Cool.
So
I've never experienced this before.
Oh, that's not good. Stupid bikes. 2.5 weeks before it's the was it waterfront? What's it
waterfront?
Called?
The waterfront.
Chattanooga waterfront.
Yeah.
When is decision time? Is it the Friday before, or do you feel like you'll know pretty much? Because you won't have. Are you?
Can you do the aqua bike again down there?
I would do the aqua bike. I signed up for the Olympic. I don't know if I want to. Like, if I'm gonna be okay for running, I'll change it to sprint. Definitely, I'm not gonna run 6 miles out of
Yeah, that's
but yeah, Ross has a plan for me, so we're gonna do a little test in before the race and see where am I, if it's safe for me to run or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's with coming back from injury, the success that I've had before is where you do sort of a 1 minute run, 4 minute walk, 1 minute run, 4 minute walk, where you sort of lean into it a little bit, and that isn't a tear or anything by that nature. So obviously listen to that. But is it if you can't run the whole thing, is kind of a run walk an option, or is it more black and white where if it's not ready to run, we're definitely not going to try to push it with walking?
I felt like it was more like, let's see if I pass the test, because
Okay.
Russ has a test for that kind of injuries. And if I can do that, it's like basically jumping on 1 foot and then
Yeah.
jumping side to side between a line.
I don't know if I could do that now.
And
I failed that test today.
Yeah, my hamstring would
help?
fall apart.
So if I don't feel any pain, and if I can do that, I don't know, it was a certain amount of time. I think it was like, right now I cannot do that, but right now I can stand on one leg, which I couldn't like when this happened.
That's good.
So things are progressing.
Good.
So to go back to when you first did it, and I think it's a great testament to you that you just like, okay, so I can't do that. I can aqua bike. I mean, that's an option as well. And for people that don't know what an aqua bike is, it's basically just a swim bike, right?
Yep.
So not just, but you just remove the run part and you can do a swim bike. So what's cool about triathlons is if, like you said, if for some reason you can't do the swim, you go do a duathlon, which is run and a bike, or you do a aqua bike. Did you feel bummed? Or was it just, this is kind of what it is now this is what we need to do, or kind of what was the emotional, was there a roller, did you cry? Was there a roller coaster? We need to know if you cried, because it makes a really good podcast.
But
we need drama.
I didn't
we need
cry,
more drama.
but I was bummed. Of course, I was delusional at first, because the moment that it happened, I thought probably it's just a small sprain. I can walk it off, and like it happened in the middle of the ride. I kept riding, and it's like, okay, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to change. That day, that happened on Saturday, I went to package pickup. I didn't want it to change my registration that day, because I hoped that by the next day I was gonna feel fine, or a little bit better. So I changed my registration the same day in the morning.
Okay.
Okay.
Which I'm very glad that they allowed me to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think. I mean, as everybody knows, you want to be able to go out and do what you're training to do. But if an injury does it, obviously, first and foremost, take care of your body, take care of yourself, do all that. Glory will come later. And if it's a B race or a C race, take that into account where it is on your list, so that you do it appropriately. I appreciate the tenacity you have, and I always learn from people like you that, rather than just saying, well, if I can't do it, then I can't do any of it. It's like, no, I'm just going to modify what I can do and go out and enjoy sort of the race in the capacity that I can do it. And that's a very it's a very good skill to keep. It's a very good mindset to have. So I applaud you on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, nice. It was kind of sad at the beginning, because I spent a lot of months running, and that was a part of, I thought like, 5K, or in this case, like the first one's 4K, was going to be fine. It was going to be easy. Yeah. I even tested the speed that I wanted to go at, or the pace that I wanted to go at, a workout during that week at track. I was feeling fine, but then, this happened. It's like, okay. But looking, like, I was always thinking about the future, right? Like right now, I really want to enjoy in the fall the Chicago Marathon, which is one of the world majors, and it's a huge marathon. And I want to be in good or decent shape for that, and not injured, right?
Yeah. And that's your A race. So put that on the board and do whatever you do to make sure that A race comes. Right. That's the thing. Right. So
whenever we work through injuries, we want to make sure that it's not structural. We're going to do more significant damage down the road. So that's the first assessment, is like, okay, that's bad, right? It's a tear. That's a little bit more significant than just a sprain. And that's where you have to make that personal decision on it, is like where you're going to go with it. So if there's something that's going to cause more pain and suffering down the road, certainly 10 years, 15 years down the road, where you're still dealing with the residual of an injury that you push through, is not a good idea. So that's where it's just kind of like, this is where you kind of got through it. But that's good that you've got Ross Gentry taking care of you and
That's
the
good.
PT side of things, and someone who obviously races himself. And it's nice when you get professionals, medical professionals that know what they're know what you're going through, right?
Yeah.
Kind of in
Yep.
that sense. So that's kind of nice.
Good. Well, let's make sure that
Yep.
our next conversation is boring as heck, and all we do is talk about a race and not about falling off a bike.
So what does your training look like now? What can you do? Obviously you can swim, but you can't kick your leg very much, right? What does that look like?
Well, the doctor and also Ross said it was fine for me um swimming and biking. I feel a little bit of discomfort when I kick in the swim, but that was like only the first 5 minutes. I didn't feel anything during the Music City swim because it was so cold.
It was cold.
Everything went numb. So
that's one idea, right?
Yeah.
It was an ice bath.
Yeah. So right now I'm like full on biking and swimming, which is, I guess, is good because I was not feeling very comfortable on the bike. Now I'm getting more rides in. I am getting more comfortable with the speed, which is something that was very scary at the beginning for me. Like downhill, I'll like be pressing the brakes all the time because I didn't feel comfortable with the speed. I felt like I let go a little bit more in this last race than the first race, so that's progress. And I also invested in a bike computer and cadence and speed sensors because I was like, okay, I'm gonna do only biking mostly. So I just want to see my data and enjoy it, and like,
it's a valuable tool.
Do more like focus training, and so yeah, it's more what I'm doing right now, like trying to get comfortable with the bike. Oh, I also changed from flat to clip pedals.
That's right.
So,
That's right. Yeah. You clipped in.
Congratulations.
That probably helps you a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably
Congratulations.
Helps your foot placement. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, and just helps with just overall power and everything else.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Because you
it
have a full
feels
range.
very different.
Yeah.
It feels very different. And I didn't switch didn't switch at once to the road pedals. I right now I'm trying with mountain bike pedals, which are a little bit easier to unclip.
Yeah.
These pedals are dual. They have a flat side and a clip side. So it's been fine for me to have that as a transition to clipping and clipping. Yeah, and it's been good.
Yeah, that's a great idea, by the way. I mean, to your point, I mean, sometimes I have a problem, and I've been doing this 20 years, pedaling and clipping out sometimes on those flat, I have the, Shimano ones, and they're hard to get out sometimes. So hard to snap in. So
for anyone that's trying to make that transition across too, as she's talking about, there's a perfect, it's basically a mountain bike pedal. It's flat on one side, and it has the small, what's called the SPD is what Shimano calls it, cleat that you click into. So, hey, if you don't want to clip in, boom, you just flip the pedal over, put your foot down flat. It's great. It's really good if you want to get your foot off, if you're in traffic or something like that. And then when you want to power up a hill or do something, you just flip the pedal the other direction, snap into it, and you're good to go. I mean, that's a really a smart move, Mafe, to do that. That's a good way to transition to being clipped in all the time. So that's great. I'm happy that you ended up doing that. So I think that works out really well for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far it's good. I just now I need to work on my ability of leaving the handles and grabbing a water bottle because I cannot do that right now.
Yeah.
You kind of need to do that. Right. Yeah. That's going to be an important post.
Yeah. You might not need in a sprint, but you definitely in an Olympic, you're going to definitely need to grab the water bottle at least once or twice in there. So yeah, that is a skill in its own to figure that out. So
we'll have you doing track stands, by the end of the year. You'll be bunny hopping curbs and waiting at stoplights like this, those obnoxious people that sit there and don't clip out of their pedals. That'll be you.
Pulling the Peter Sagan moves on her bike.
There you go.
So outstanding. So good. Okay. Yeah. So a little more training coming up, and then you'll make the decision. How many days out do you think from the race that you'll make the decision to switch to just aqua bike or whatever, like a couple days before?
Probably the week before, or half a week before.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
see. We'll see.
Cool.
But
Okay.
next I have coming up is the swimming camp with Tom.
Yep.
So that will be a lot of swimming, which I'm excited about.
Oh, we're gonna
Because I
have a
love the
lot of
water.
fun. Yep, we're gonna have a
That's
lot
good.
of fun with
Sounds like
that
fun.
pool and open water in North Carolina in the mountains. So good stuff. Looking forward to it. So lots of swimming, lots of swimming. So cool. Okay. So we'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks. We'll probably, what do you think? Are we going to catch up with her, Kenny, before the race or after the race? Probably after the race.
Probably after the race. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
probably
we'll
after.
find out. We'll find out if, if it's a green light or red light, then we can just talk about that point about kind of what plan B is if it's a red light. So
Yep.
maybe we'll go from there.
Okay.
So
Sounds good. So
good.
cool. Thanks everybody for following along. We really appreciate you. Send in questions, comments, anything you want to know from Mafe. You can just hit us up on Facebook, Instagram. We're out there, and we appreciate the thumbs up and the 5 stars. That's really good stuff. Thanks for rating. That gets the algorithm, pops us up a little bit higher, gets more people out to see us. So and hear us. So check us out on the YouTube channel as well if you're listening to this on just the podcast audio version, because then you'll get to see Rosie, who pops in and makes an appearance every so often. So thanks everybody. Thanks Mafe. Good luck in the training, and we will catch up with you soon and catch up with everyone on the next episode.